Okay, what's up? I just woke up for real today. And I realized I have a secret that I have been keeping from you all. Okay. And um I'm about to do my makeup and I'm gonna tell y'all the secret. Okay. Normally this would be like a truth or drink kind of video, but I just brushed my hair and I just messed everything up. But I'm just gonna do it as like me doing my makeup. Okay. So brush my hair and then put this on while I prepare to do my makeup. Okay. But oops. All I'm about to say is, in case you can't tell, I am oh oh my gosh. Exactly. Even TikTok knows I'm about to talk about something real personal, so it might be NSFW. Is that how they spell it? I don't know. Y'all. I thought putting this on would be like simple, but oh my god. It's just like ooh. Okay, yeah. It's just like I don't wanna have any of the little like dangly things like dangling. Okay. You feel me? Okay. You feel me? Okay, this is still probably gonna get in my whatever a little bit, but it's cool. I wanna move y'all, but the lighting oh, sorry. The lighting is oh, it is kind of better here. Hold on. It's getting better and better. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Y'all. Y'all. Here's my story time for y'all. And just to give y'all a hint, I'm gonna, nails undone and all, I'm gonna wear this while I talk about the story. Okay? So, for those of y'all who didn't know, I've been kind of mentioning my dating life lately, kind of talking about my love life on the internet, which obviously is not something I should do, but it's just like, again, I realized I was keeping the secret that I didn't mean to be keeping from y'all. So where else am I gonna go but to take to the internet and tell y'all about what I've been up to? Okay, hold on. All right. Sorry. I'm just gonna let this dry first. Spray with some Evian spray. And then this other mineral water thing I have. Oh my god. Alright. Let that all dry. But y'all, I was engaged. I have an ex-fiance. Technically, you know? And here's the story behind that. Oof. Oh my gosh. I realize I've just been like moving on with life as if it's normal for this person to do what he did to me and just move on. Like, nothing, like everything, like, like nothing was the same. But no, I'm not. I'm gonna discuss it. I'm gonna discuss it on the internet. That's what I'm doing right now. So I met this man. I did make a YouTube video about him. You used to see posts of us on my page, and you used to see posts of him on my page, and now you don't anymore, and that's because we are no longer together. But the issue is, I never told any of y'all that we were engaged. Okay, we kept our engagement low key. We never went to get rings. We never even discussed that because we were both very non-superficial people in that relationship. He was working at FedEx. I was working at a lingerie store. So that's what it was at the time. No ring. About to get to how I did end up with this ring, but yeah. I sorry, y'all. I'm doing my makeup and telling this story and processing all of my like emotions and things. Very difficult, but I need to stop like pausing, having all these pause words. But okay, yeah. So we ended up getting engaged. Not yet. We ended up engaged. So how did that happen? Here's what happened. We met during a rough time in my life. Okay. I was living in my car. He was in a difficult living situation himself. He did not like the terms and conditions of his lease. Lease. I think that's what it was. And yeah, so we met each other. We were in situations that we weren't proud of. And, obviously that's not a really good way to meet somebody. I wish I had, I'm about to, hold on, y'all. I need like a haircut thing. Okay, hold on. It's in my purse. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. We were in situations that we were not proud of, and that's what we bonded over. That's what we related over. That's how we met. We were we were both like talking to the people in our lives who were condoning the situation, basically trying to like peer pressure us into being proud of our situation. But we both were like, both of us were like, no, like, no, we don't want to be proud of our situation. We both were like, no, we got to find something different. We're not going to leave, abandon everyone and like, be one of those people that like, just like is fake and like pretends like what's happening isn't happening. But we didn't want to be proud of it though. We didn't want to be proud. That was just the thing. Okay, guys. Okay. Oh no, I got to make too much. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna be like super contoury today because I just put too much makeup on this thing. But yeah, we both were like, not wanting to be proud of our situation. Not ashamed though, but just not proud because we felt like pride gets in the way of progression. Because if all you're looking at is your pride, then you won't be willing to when it really comes down to like the things, the inner work that needs to get done, you're most likely gonna be too proud to want to actually do the inner work. So we were like, no, we really want to get this inner work done and the outer work done because we really want to leave the situation. So we didn't see a reason to be proud. We didn't see that. So, or we couldn't figure out the reason to be proud, I should say. But yeah, we couldn't figure out the reason to be proud in that moment. In that moment with those people at that time. So we're having this conversation with these people. We're all sitting in my car having a conversation. And yeah, it's like the people we were with at the time were saying one thing and we both were saying another thing. And we really vibed off of that one conversation. So, oh my God, sorry, y'all. I'm doing this makeup. I'm going to set my concealer a little bit more, so then I'll probably be able to tell the story a little bit better. But, yeah, so then we vibed off that conversation. We recognized each other from, like, a mutual football game that we attended. He was with his boys, and I was with my family. And so we recognized each other. And so that's how we started talking in the first place. But yeah, it's so weird that I don't contour my nose as much as I contour the rest of my face. I feel like it just looks weird if everything's contoured the same because it's like, or does it look even more weird that my nose is not as contoured? I don't know. Whatever. I think it looks weird. Okay, but I'm not finished yet, so just don't mind that. Let me get this concealer. So that's what we vibed off of. Exchanged numbers. Didn't really text each other. Honestly, we exchanged numbers because like our mutual friends were like, oh, like they were kind of like making fun of us for getting along so well. They're like, oh, y'all should talk then. And when I can't get in touch with said person, you can just text them. And then so we kind of still exchange numbers. I know we shouldn't have, but we still exchange numbers. I don't know what to tell y'all about that one. That's just the way it went. Exchange numbers. And then a situation did arise all of a sudden as to where actually someone else randomly asked me. So this is how I knew that we were being discussed, like our conversation was being discussed. Somebody else randomly mentioned, they were like, oh, actually, do you have such and such person's number? And I'm going to call them such and such person. Do you have such and such person's number? Sorry, I know it might seem a little bit rude, but it's not. It's just like, because I don't want to be like real messy and like use names and stuff. So such and such person. They were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I do. I really do. And so I was like, do you want the number? They're like, no, you just text them. And they're like, I'm in a rush. You just text them. Doesn't matter, right? You just text them. And I was like, all right, what do you want me to say? And then they told me what to say. And then I texted the person. And then we actually started like talking, like having our own conversations from that text message. Come to find out, we run into each other like a few days later. And No one else is around. And he's like, hey, you want to get some food? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm down. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today yet anyway. And so we go out. We get some food. And that's when we start talking. We start having discussions. And he's like, he starts joking around. He's like, oh, at first I think he's joking. He's like, I don't have my wallet on me. Can you pay for this meal? Can you pay for this meal? I don't have my wallet on me. And then I'm like, it's not funny. And he was like, you have Cash App, right? Like, you have Cash App, like all those things. And I was like, what? Why are you worried about if I have Cash App or not? I was like, I thought you were gonna get the food for both of us. And he's like, oh, just joking. I found my wallet. And I was like, what? I thought that was really weird. So, yeah. Then we grab about to eat, and I'm like, yeah. And then I ask him, I'm like, oh, how's your girl? And he's like, oh, how's your boy? And then we have that conversation, and then we kind of go about our own ways. And then like a few days later, he has to like hold something. I don't know. He was like, I'll cash app you for your time. Like, don't worry, just let me use your charger, I think, or your phone real quick. I forgot which one it was. And I was like, you don't have to cash app me. And he's like, no, but do you have Cash App? I was like, you really don't have to Cash App me. He's like, but do you have Cash App? And I was like, yes, I do. And he's like, okay, fine. I'm going to Cash App you. I just need your charger. I'll be right back with it. And I was like, okay, fine. So I let him do that. Then he started sending me like Cash Apps on a regular schedule. And then he's like, you want to go out to eat again? And he starts like buying me food and stuff. And then, long story short, I move into his place. Like, after a couple years of like getting to know each other and filling each other out, I move into his place. Now, he is one of those people who lives with his entire family still. It's a 3-generation household, okay? The first time I go over his house, nobody else was there. So I think it was like during like the school season and like everyone was working, so like nobody was in the house. Then I find out his mom's a teacher. This is all in the area I grew up in, so I'm like a little bit nervous because I'm like, what if it's like the off chance that it's someone who used to be my teacher? But I continue talking to this guy. We're having a good time. He has a really nice basement. It's like very like, it's giving very man cave. It's giving very like ooh la la, like leather seats, leather couch, the whole nine. And yeah, finally I meet his mom, and she's like, kind of looks at me like, don't I know you from somewhere? And I look at her like, kind of like, probably, like, all like attitude. Like, I don't even know where the attitude came from all of a sudden. That is like, I was like, probably because like I went to school here for like from like elementary to high school, so you probably know me from somewhere, And I was like, I used to win a lot of awards and stuff, so I was like, you probably seen me. But she's like, no, don't I know you? And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh. When I met her, it was the time I almost got in trouble for bullying. And this was in like the 2nd or 3rd grade. So I recognized like, this is the woman who graciously didn't suspend me for my cyberbullying incident and saw me cry. And now here I am with her son, dating her son. And I'm like, and then it clicks to me. I'm like, I remember seeing his picture on her desk. And then they're all watching me realize these things. And then she's like, well, welcome to my house. And she gives me like attitude back because I had attitude. And so, yeah, I'm like, like, ooh, this is really awkward. Like, how y'all think I feel? Like, wow, like, I've just been chilling in your basement whole time, like, your mom practically raised me, so, like, him and I are practically siblings. So I'm like, this is kind of awkward. This, like, puts a damper on our relationship. And he's like, no, she really likes you. Like, no, like, you're always welcome here. So I'm at his place a lot. We start hanging out every day. We have, like, Christmas and Thanksgiving together. He takes me out. We went Halloween shopping with, like, one of his nieces. I mean, not Halloween shopping. Halloween shopping with one of his nieces. And one day we're, like, sitting on his couch, and he's like, do you want to be my wife? And I'm like, yeah. And so that's how I got engaged. And then, yeah, that's when we spent Christmas and Thanksgiving together. I think again, then, like, you know, let me just put this. And then we met, he met my family, I met his family, and everything was fine. Then all of a sudden, I get kicked out again. And I go to stay with him. Turns into the biggest fight. Like, here we are. He asked me to be his wife. And then so naturally the next thing I do is move in with the guy. And all we do is fight. All we're doing is fighting. He starts going through my phone. He starts reading my text messages. He starts calling me all kinds of things outside my name. And I'm like, yo, what? And so I get really uncomfortable, and I'm like, I literally actually call 12. I literally actually call the police, and I'm like, I do not feel comfortable here. And I get myself checked into a mental hospital because I was like, I'm not staying with this man. And I get, like, my insurance card mailed to his house. My medical insurance card mailed to his house as a goodbye. Then all throughout my hospital stay, he's like, no, like, I miss you. Like, don't leave. You can always stay with me. Like, I talk to your parents. Like, if you want to stay with me, they're, you know, they support us in our relationship 100%. Yeah, I used a teeth whitening thing today, and I'm like, did I eat too soon? Because it's like, anyway, probably should brush my teeth again afterwards. I might brush my teeth again after this video just to make sure that it's the whitening whitens. But I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know. Let me read the instructions. Okay, yeah. And so, yeah, I end up moving into another house, another place, and I'm still seeing him. And I invite him over to my place. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just his situation being in a 3-generation household. Like, maybe that was taking a toll on our relationship. Maybe it wasn't us. He wants me to be his wife, all those things. So I keep, you know, we keep talking to each other. We keep doing what we need to do. We never quite got to talking about having kids together, but here's why. Because he started, like, going through my text messages and, like, telling me, like, just saying all kinds of things about me, like, calling me all kinds of names. And so, come to find out, a week later, he gets scammed. He gets robbed. His whole Cash App gets robbed. And obviously, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know what's going on. But he kirks off on me, blames the whole thing on me. He's like, I don't trust you after this. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around people who steal. Like, he was like, if this was you, this really wasn't cute. Like, all those kind of things. At this point, he's still helping me move into my new place. And I'm like, so I'm like, I can't move without him. So I kind of, like, kind of like allow the craziness a little bit more, and to the point where I start faking the funk. And then so he's like calling me names, and by this time I'm like ignoring it. I'm like almost numb to it. And yeah. Then he started getting like aggressive, like really aggressive with me. And so at that point I called the police again. I didn't file a report, and then we called the whole relationship off. But yes, I was engaged. just at the beginning of this year, at the start of 2026. So that's when we broke up. So yeah, I realized I didn't tell y'all this. So y'all are confused as to why I'm like acting a little bit different lately. And that's because now I have like a serious ex in my life that I used to live with for months. So yeah. All right, this is my makeup today. It's just quick everyday makeup look. Nothing too serious. I think I blended everything. I feel like everything's blended. Don't y'all? And yeah. All right, I'm about to go brush this whitening stuff off because I did drink something. So I'm about to go brush this off. So yeah. But yeah, guys, that's the story about how I got engaged.